There is a backup lineman that is killing your offensive tackle's ability to block in Madden Ultimate Team right now. Now, about a week ago, I did a video on the Vanguard heavy kick return unit, in which I encouraged you guys just to not carry backup linemen anyways. But I know a lot of you out there are carrying a certain item in this right guard backup slot. You probably have noticed that your offensive tackles can't block edge rushers in the 3-2 and 1-4 loop blitz meta. And for those that are wondering which player I am referring to, that would be the Combine Kyle Long. Now, this card is an item that starts for many of you, and I would tell you right now, if he's starting, get him off the field. I don't think he's that good to begin with. But I will tell you that a lot of players are simply keeping him on their bench because he has a motivator that boosts all of your offensive linemen by 8 agility, 8 change of direction, and 8 acceleration. Now, don't get me wrong, those boosts can be super valuable when you run block and you need a player to get up to that second level or fire out and block a slot corner, or to the third level to a safety. However, when it comes to your pass protection, believe it or not, this is hurting your performance because your offensive tackles are too athletic. Now, keep in mind those bonuses that I just laid forth. I want to take a look at an item here that I just recently benched about 2 weeks ago. And this would be the Will Campbell draft item. Now, this item is really good from an AP standpoint, don't get me wrong. And when you take a look at his actual ratings, he's quite good as well. He comes in with basically 99 everything. I mean, he is a little bit weak in the pass block finesse and the run block finesse, but right now with the theme team surge, you can get him reasonably close to 99 everything from a actual blocking ratings perspective. But when you take a look at the athleticism, he's also quite athletic. He's 89 speed, which is very, very fast, 88 acceleration, 83 agility, and his COD is also 83. But think back to those boosts that we just talked about with Kyle Long. If we have an offensive lineman receiving those boosts, that would put Will Campbell at 96 acceleration, and his agility and change of direction would approach the high 80s to low 90s. But mainly it's that acceleration rating that really is kind of bothering me as it pertains the way offensive linemen play. Now, what I want to do here is I want to take you into some actual game tape so you guys can see what I'm talking about, what this item was looking like on my field. In fact, I'm going to take you over to my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg, and we're going to head into the vault because this tip is coming straight from our vault, and it's actually from this month. So this is a very recent vault tip. Now, I want to take you guys down to a tip called "This is why your offensive tackles stink." What's up, guys? Just want to let you know we are running our Madden 26 and College Football 26 pre-sale offers on my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. Last year in our vaults for each game individually, we will have done 250 tips. We drop 4 to 5 a week minimum. And a lot of times we do extra vault updates as the game changes via patch, or I find something that needs to be put out right away. You guys unlock all the vault content, all offensive and defensive game plans, members only Discord access. We have lab sessions weekly in that Discord. And next year, specifically in Madden 26, I will be uploading all of the lab sessions the next day to the website so that those of you that did not make it can go back and have notes about what we talked about and get straight to the topics in that video. It's an extra hour of content every single week on top of everything else we already do. Make sure that you guys take advantage of the pre-sale, save yourself 50 bucks off of a year membership. Best deal in the tip space. Now back to the video. And we're gonna take a look at a repetition here in which we have Will Campbell at the left tackle position. This is with all of the bonuses that he received from the backup Kyle Long. And of course, on the defensive side of the ball, we're facing our standard 3-2 defensive meta. This meta has been rampant all year long. It's notorious for loop blitzing and ram blitzing. We've done a lot of content here on the channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed for this. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take you guys into a rep here where you're going to see that the offensive tackles, because they receive these boosts, end up dropping so far back that it allows the edge rushers to just continue working their way into the backfield until they slip inside. So what we're going to see here is this guy is going to take this outside rush angle and then cross his face. And that's going to be really, really bad because our offensive tackle is backing up so far, allowing this to work. So this tip is straight from our vault. We're going to go ahead and let this roll here. And what you're going to see is that when this ball is snapped, that I don't really do anything wrong. It's just that my offensive tackle is so athletic that he ends up getting disengaged by that edge rusher because his acceleration was so high that he backed up further and further and further. And that's not even a shed. That's just a disengage angle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I've done with my offensive line in MUT. So that way you guys can understand what it is exactly that I have changed to make this happen. So here we are back in my depth chart menu, and I'm going to take a look at my new starting left tackle. This is Garrett Bolles Team Surge item. When we take a look at him, he comes in at that 99 across the board, very similar to Will Campbell. When you take a look at him from an athleticism standpoint, however, I am trying to keep him in the low to mid 80s, which is, believe it or not, kind of close to where Will Campbell started. Will Campbell was in the high 80s, but Kyle Long made him almost too fast from an acceleration standpoint. But with this item, he comes in with base ratings, you know, a slight boost to his agility and acceleration, but he's not so slow that we can't run block and get him out in space. But he's not so fast that he's going to drop so quickly that this is going to end up hurting you from a pass protection standpoint. What I'm getting at here is that the acceleration rating of the offensive lineman, and partially agility and COD, but definitely the acceleration rating from what I've tested, is hurting our performance because, again, it's not that they can't pass block. It's that they're so athletic that they drop back and back and back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to that same vault tip. We're going to show you guys a rep with Garrett Bolles against a pass rusher coming from the same defensive line technique. So here we are in this example. Again, we've got a defensive end rushing to the outside shoulder of our left tackle. While this isn't the 3-2 meta, this is a really good example of how a offensive lineman with less acceleration is going to still be able to mirror the get off, but he's not going to drop so far that the initial engagement where the two guys first make contact is right on the hip of the quarterback. It's still going to be in front of him, allowing us to have more of a pocket. So I'm going to let this roll here, and you're going to see, look how he mirrors. And the big difference is that rather than him being right next to me, I'm still about 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind this block. And I'm going to draw two lines here. You're going to see this is the line where Will Campbell dropped to, and the second line is where Garrett Bolles dropped to. That's a difference of about, again, 2 yards. And when we talk about disengage angles, we're talking about being parallel. If my quarterback climbs the pocket, that puts him above that parallel line. If we were just draw a line going straight across, and he has to let him go. That's EA's way of preventing holding calls in this game. Disengage angles are not the same as a block shed. So in this case, he has to play a block shed rather than just getting a disengage angle, and he's able to hold that block. And you saw late in the play, he actually tried to play some sort of unstoppable force move, which failed. So this is a really good example of why high, super high acceleration is actually hurting your ability to get protection. Now, again, I'm going to go back here to our breakdown from our first assignment where we have the Will Campbell. And you're going to see once again here that Will Campbell drops considerably further back, and you're going to see that contrast. Again, it's a small difference. But look where that block occurs. It's occurring literally side by side with where I am in the pocket. I have nowhere to step up to. If I step back, the game penalizes me for being too far behind the line of scrimmage with inaccurate throws. Instant disengages by all the other rushers. But if I climb the pocket like a good player would, you're going to end up in a spot where you're going to end up with the disengage. So it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation that is impacting our ability to actually get performance from our offensive tackles. Now, don't get me wrong, Will Campbell's got amazing ability setups. Pretty much all offensive tackles here in this game do, but if there's one take home that I want to encourage you guys to look at, it's, I would say, stay below 90 acceleration. I'm willing to bet that you're going to notice that your offensive line plays better, especially at the offensive tackles. I care about this less at the guard position because they're kind of in a phone booth in the middle. But when we talk about that edge rush, they're trying to respect that outside loop that they almost dropped too far in the pocket. And then it's just an inside B gap disengage. I've seen a lot of pro players that are struggling with this. I started to do this myself about 2 weeks ago, and I know for a fact that my Gridiron Game Plans members really appreciate this. And I shared this for free in my Twitch chat the other day as well. So if you guys want to watch me while I'm live, twitch.tv/ZanMadden, I stream in the afternoons. Otherwise, make sure you guys are subscribed right here for intel like this. This is the margins. And if you guys want to make sure that you're on the forefront of all this type of lab work next year, I do this year round. Make sure you guys take advantage of the Gridiron presale. I'm going to get up out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.